left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, so requesting straight up for 13.
If that's available, yes.
Ever correction, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, nice straight in runway 13 left, and clear to land, wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 13 left, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance plus 4658 is type PC final slam conf request clearance to Vegas S file.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, and I'll be full restelling. Plus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas Airport. VFI Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join the Cresso 311. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7. Squawk 6316.
Plus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Presso 3. Initially climb 7,000, expected Victor 5, departure 166 hours, plus 316 plus 465.
Plus 4658, readback is correct. Tango India Mike, taxi to ground via Aqua English frequency.
Taxi to the RAM, remain on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237, Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind, runway 26 left, report base.
Enter left downwind 26 left, and we'll call you base 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, we'll be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242, Jolly Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170 at 13.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Palomar Tower, Kilo 220, Kilo ILS 524.
Senior 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 1. Number 237, Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ground plus 4658 is traffic to weather going for taxi.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Brown 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 293 Alpha, with you on the ILS.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 cleared low approach, report missed.
November 293 Alpha, cleared low approach, runway 9. Next report is missing.
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go turning right at Brown.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff to run right plus 465.
Palomar Tower, Air 560, Kilo 128,
Here's our Yankee Kilo, Archer taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Yeah, Alpha.
Hey guys, hey Nietzsche, welcome back. Same to you.
Contact departure.
Engineizing, my gosh.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi to the GA.
By the way, let me see if I can do this. Oh. Obviously, my gosh. Can you see the X-Plane logo there on the ramp? Just above the car. That's interesting.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm pulling
Hey
right.
Ben, welcome back.
November 293 Alpha, going to
Number 03 Alpha, roger.
See if we can get to French Valley.
Approach procedure.
flying published mid
Wow. My kneeboard here.
Piper 2903
Tight.
Alpha, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure, 03 Alpha.
Man, I would so love
Approach frequency will be
for
135.
PilotEdge to be
135.4.
online here from 8 o'clock local time here in the Netherlands. I could really fly in the weekends. I mean, obviously in working days it doesn't really matter, but on Saturday and Sunday it would be so awesome. Poked Marcus also and Keith on the forums to suggest whether they could better serve European customers in that way, but they don't have enough staff. And obviously you'd like to have some European controllers, but the US system is quite different from the one that is used than in Europe. That's what they said. So no, I guess there are no chances there soon, which is unfortunate. So I think I really need to come up with ways to also practice just in uncontrolled airspace, and we can. I mean, just the engine Isaac example in the previous stream is a great example. I mean, you don't need ATC to practice that kind of stuff. Also, there are very nice YouTube channels, by the way, of backcountry pilots, real-world pilots, just gorgeous recordings of just pilots soloing through mountains with buddies, landing on grass strips. Really, really, really nice. So we could also perhaps in future streams do group flights, which I also think is very interesting. So we just need to come up with a way just to enjoy ourselves without controllers. We don't need controllers to have fun in the airspace. Anyway, guys, thank you again for joining in. Welcome to part 2 of episode 63. We're currently at yeah, where are we? Aqua Caliente. Let me see, just to pronounce it right. Aqua, yeah, Caliente, a non-towered airport just in front of a big mountain range. But before I'm going to describe the second part of this slide, let me just hop over very quickly to my notes, because I've been also using the last 15 minutes or so to learn. And just to review again, critically reflect on my previous flight, which was just in a few hours fresh. So just to have an idea of what I can improve on. So these are my notes so far. First of all, icing is serious business. Most importantly, I was thinking about icing in terms of moist as clouds, just clouds. So when you are in freezing levels and you are flying through clouds, that's when icing occurs. But obviously icing can also occur just through rain, icing rain. Silly stuff. So obviously in my previous flight, I should have already known. I mean, I know that the visibility was bad, but I was just identifying that or labeling that or interpreting that as just as bad visibility, not as clouds. And also just the rain with that didn't ring a bell to me that was also moist, which is just silly. So yeah, rain is also relevant in terms of icing, and I should have prevented that. I think I actually acted okay-ish when I found out that it was actually engine icing. I did take some time just to come up with a solution. So I was really trying to rationalize what was going on, which was okay. But the first thing that you need to do actually in an emergency is, okay, shit has hit the fan, right? Where is my alternate airport? Then decide where you're gonna land and already turn so you can make the most use of your glide distance and altitude, and then try to troubleshoot. I did the other way around. And so I was already spending a lot of miles, nautical miles, just figure out what was going on while actually getting away from my safe haven, right? So that's also not good. Also there further on the list is I should have used ATC actually in a real world setting, which is quite funny because in the real world the same thing happens. You're so enthralled, you're so focused on what is going on here. I need to manage the airplane that you can actually also use, especially when trying to find vectors for your safe haven airport. You could just ask ATC, and ATC can already scramble up fire trucks and stuff. Also here virtually, that might be fun to do sometimes. So it's funny that it also happened to me. And it's not about a laziness or being afraid to call up to ATC. That can also happen. That some also in the real world stories are happening where people are just afraid to admit that they are in an emergency and then actually crash. While ATC could have helped. Well, that doesn't really concern me. I think in this flight also not virtually here flying, but what did apply was that I was so focused on managing the airplane that I felt drowning in all the multitasking that I need to do. I was focusing on the plane. I had no visibility, and in the meantime, I should have also reached the charts to find out what the nearest airport, what the frequencies were. Well, again, overload, and I had already the frequency set, and I could just call up, just push the talk button, and said. Los Angeles Center, help. And that would have helped, obviously. Checklist flying, also notice that. Checklist flying is not just checklist taxiing. To me, that's a remark, a comment to myself. It also involves checklist flying during departure and cruise and arrival. So yeah, it's nice to have a checklist, but I should also keep using it through my entire flight. Clock flying again, and I thought about this again, but why do I keep forgetting? Well, it's not just part, it's just part, it's not part of my checklist, it's not part of my habits. And I should also then, I think, plan clock use. So when I talk about my route, also think in terms of time, and so then it becomes also linked to my flight planning and not just a thing that I do additional to flying, which also makes quite a lot of sense while I'm saying it right now. But again, figuring out this is all part of the uncertified kind of things here on the channel. Makes sense though, so I should incorporate that as well. Oh yeah, what I also found interesting was regularly think during cruise about options for emergency landings. So it's not just in terms of planning, but for example, what I did also in many streams ago was while I departed from an airport, then also thinking about just when you take rejective takeoff kind of procedure, just when you leave off the runway, think about, okay, when I have an engine out right now, where am I going to ditch the airplane? Do I have enough altitude to make a turnaround, or do I need to pick a spot in front of me, right? And the same you could also do, should I guess also do in cruise. It's also a fun exercise to do with buddies. It's also fun to do here on the stream. Just please help me. Just shout out here on the chat while we're flying. Tim, imagine engine out. Where would you land right now? That's a good exercise. I also saw also a great YouTube series that I recommend any one of you guys to watch. It is called, it's a series actually by Discovery Channel. I don't know. It's called Dangerous Flights, I think. 2 seasons or just 1 season and a couple of 2 seasons. They're on YouTube or were on YouTube. I don't know if they're still there, where they record ferry flights with really cowboy-like pilots, but really experienced IFR, VFR, the whole commercial instructor, really good flight. People that those guys have a business and they fly Cessnas. Those Cessna Skyhawks, for example, they're being bought by someone who lives in Germany. And they need to fly that Skyhawk, it's a second-hand Skyhawk, fly that from Florida, US, all the way over Greenland, all the way over to Germany. And they follow those guys. And you see what they do. And they come in weird airspaces. They need to cooperate, collaborate with each other. And that doesn't work. They also get engine failures and stuff. It's very, very educational and a fun series to watch. I should look for the season 2, perhaps there's also season 3. I have no idea. Dangerous Flights. Have a look on YouTube. And oh yeah, and I said that because one of those guys said, well, what I do when I'm flying is I have the attitude that my airplane constantly tries to kill me. And so that keeps me on an edge, so that everything I see is double checked. Like my aircraft has the intention to get. Now, I don't like that spirit, to be honest. I'd like my airplane just to help me enjoy my flying. That's something that I like more. But still, I get the pedagogical, psychological thing about it, right? So that aspect I should also develop more. So when I'm in cruise, it's not like, oh, I'm in cruise, but it's like, I'm in cruise, right? What should I do next? Especially in marginal VMC and IMC conditions that we were in the previous stream. Nietzsche, I'm still surprised that METAR didn't show rain link. Yeah, I totally agree. Even 10 stage of my SSI was under pretty good. Yeah, I know, Nietzsche, I totally agree. And again, xEnviro and also the METAR, default METAR here are the real world conditions in X-Plane 11. Default is also not on par yet. Yeah. So, and the last one, sterile cockpit, so not talking. I thought I should also further operationalize that idea, sterile cockpit that I talked about in the previous stream. So obviously, because I'm streaming, I'm continuously chatting with you guys, which I really, really love. But also that chatting, like in the real world, distracts from concentration, from flying. And from speaking. And so there are many times, I think, I don't know for sure, that I'm just making mistakes, not because I'm underdeveloped in terms of flight skills, but because I'm not paying attention. Like in the real world, the same thing can happen. And so these guys talk about sterile cockpit management. And it means is that you don't chat about any other things, or just don't chat in prime time kind of flight stages of your flight. For example, departures and arrivals. Perhaps I should do that as well, just to focus. It's also interesting for you guys to see what happens. And perhaps with time and with more experience, I'm able to more chat, but I should really try to put my plane and my flying first, rather than the stream, as silly as it may sound. Hey Sniper, good to see you, welcome on board. And that's about it. Study clock flying. Yeah, that's again the focus. So for today, I'm going to do that and incorporate it in my planning. So having said that, welcome again to Aqua Caliente. Yeah, it's nice. Again, X-plane logo, interesting. Completely in the middle of nowhere, desert. That's the weather stuff that we went through to experience our first engine icing experience. Yeah, not a lot of winds, as you can see. Very simple runway. Also, like, well, while reviewing the previous stream, I saw that MiniWebs mentioned that he was also considering doing some scenery for this particular airport, non-towered airport, to put in that SoCal pack, which is great. Yeah, so very cute, simple airport. And obviously, oh yeah, this is a bug and explain. My beacon light seems on. It seems like my batteries are on, but they're actually off. Just as I switch here the flip, yeah. Anyway, I always leave my beacon on, also in the real world, because when you turn your batteries on, it already denotes or shows anyone on the ramp that something is going on with your airplane, that there is someone in there, that you're about to start your engine. So it's a good habit just to keep that beacon on, and it doesn't interfere with your electrical surges or equipment here. But anyway, that's why. It's interesting here how we're going to depart, because we land on 2.9. Well, I don't think that that is a good departure, even though it might favor the winds. What were the winds doing? Calm, they were, right? Yeah, they're completely calm. It's also because of the position here of the airport, just in the middle of this valley. So I would rather just depart from this way out, and then turn back and head over to the mountains, and go to French Valley. That's the idea. So let's hop into the cockpit. Let me show you the remaining part of my flight. The original part was just in the previous stream to fly all the way over to French Valley, but I didn't make it because of that engine icing and also because of time. Dinner. So this is the remaining part of the flight from Aqua Caliente to French Valley, if the weather allows, because if I look at French Valley, marginal VMC, and as you can see, 10 stages, but it's not a visibility problem, it's a cloud layer problem, broken at 2700, and it is actually rising. That's good, also as forecasted, so that's good. So if we are able to sneak under that cloud layer, then we're fine, and we can just easily land. It's still legal for us to do so, but the idea is we are not allowed to fly through the cloud deck, so we need to find some spacing, cloud spacing, before we reach French Valley, so we can underfly, sneak underneath that cloud layer. If not, we need to divert. And it seems always Palm Springs. If you are in bad weather, head to Palm Springs. It's always, that's also why it's my favorite home airport. It's always green in Palm Springs. So what we could do is then fly to Banning, for example. And one risk there is that most of the time the bad weather just stays on the side, on the west side of this mountain range of Palm Springs. So you can see all this mountain stuff. It usually stays on this side, the bad weather. So if we fly to Banning this way, we've got two problems perhaps. We've got bad weather, and we've got a huge mountaintop here that we might fly into. So I guess then it would actually favor to fly to the Palm Springs area, and that's what I would do. So we can determine some kind of a cutoff point here. For example, here during our flight, if we cannot see, if we already see a ceiling that we cannot fly through, we should abort that plan to go to French Valley and catch the radial of Palm Springs inbound, and that should be a radial that keeps us away from that mountaintop. So perhaps we should fly. No, not we need to fly back, but yeah, we need to catch that radial so we can go directly to Palm Springs and land there. That's the idea. A backup plan is also important, I think. So it's going to be exciting again in part 2. Anything else in terms of airspace? Well, as already planned also in the previous flight, as you can see here, as we leave Agua Caliente up northwest, VR, military airways, right? So you can see one here, VR1257. So low level military flights. Also, well, it's part of that. You can see here another one, 1257 on this side as well. So yeah, we need to be very vigilant of other aircraft. Also, it's quite a short flight, so I guess I'm not going to do flight following for this short range flight. It's not really that necessary. Again, you could actually ask for flight following each and every flight because it's just there, it's free, and it's safer. Yeah, why? I don't need a hassle, I guess. It's also not really a hassle. Airspace over there, not really a problem. French Valley is really tucked into this really nice valley. I'm really looking forward to seeing the scenery there. Photoreal scenery is going to be gorgeous. We've got a right pattern for runway 36. I guess the winds would favor 1.8. Let's see, what were the winds? I didn't remember. 200 at 08. Yeah, so 1.8 is going to be. So that's a left-hand pattern. And that favors exactly, yeah, that favors our arrival, right? So we can just enter the downwind here, the left downwind of 1.8 base, and then final. Yeah, that's about it. And in terms of fuel, I think we're also ready to go. Okay, so that's our flight planning. Let's start. Okay, first off, TrackIR, let me sync here, yeah. Cold and dark, parking brakes are set, live fast fire extinguisher, door is closed, window is closed, ELT is set to auto, cabin air, let's pretend that that we've got some cabin air coming in here, some oxygen. Flaps are up, and they are up. Our throttle lever, mixture lever works, trim works, fuel tank set to both. And the cutoffs is not cut off, alternate is not alternate, it's not activated. This is not relevant for now. Circuit breakers are all naturally put in, beacon light is on, and the Saitek switch panel also is connected. Good. That means that we are cold and dark. Batteries on. Boom. All right. Avionics on. They work. That's great as well. Let's check our flaps. They go down, and they go down in sync. Again, we're not doing our external walk around, so they go nicely up. Transponder, we're gonna set that soon in the frequencies as well. Audio panel seems to be okay. Annunciator messages, the panel works. Again, fuel, enough fuel, that's okay. And yeah, that's about it. Again, circuit breakers are still in, and we're ready to go. Avionics off. What I'm going to do before I'm going to do my engine start is my flight control test. Yoke to the right means that that one goes down, right? Other way, yes, that's good. Elevators, the gun, trim, tab, yep, works. And my rudder works as well, good. Yeah, then engine starts. Fuel pump, 1, 2, 3. We should actually see a fuel flow, a slight rise in the fuel flow gauge there, but that is not really simulated, I guess. Prime the engine and throttle in, and parking brakes are set, fuel tanks are set to both, avionics are off, good. Is there no one here? There's no one here. Clear pop. And there we go, engine start, 1200, oil pressure is already in the green, should be in the green within 30 seconds. Lean for ground, something like that. 1000, good. Alternator on, rising the M meter. Avionics on, mode C, good. Now before I do my frequencies, I actually should have reviewed my checklist before I actually went through the different stages of each of my checks. Just to review, always fly with a checklist. That's the new idea. So let me see, reset cabin. Yeah, I did that, and I also didn't encounter any weird things here. Lights seems to be okay. Pre-flight, yeah, flight control, I missed out on that first item, but I did that as well. DME, transponder, avionics master, yeah, we did that as well. And before engine start, so yeah, briefing of passengers. So I just briefed you guys what we're going to do. So we're going to depart here, and then it's going to be a I guess a really shallow kind of departure because we've got terrain there, and we need to get up. How high up are we going to fly actually? Well, we can just follow the terrain. As long as we are beneath 3,000 feet AGL of that terrain, we're free to go on any altitude. So that's going to be fine. We can just follow the terrain over the hill and then down to French Valley. Especially be aware of that cloud deck. Yeah, make sure engine is all started, and that's okay. I didn't fasten my seatbelts. So yeah, I was too quick here. There's some kind of a hurry, I feel. Which, there shouldn't be any hurry. And it's funny how the same things apply to flight sim, I think, as is the case with real-world flying. Anyway, so... yeah, engine is on, everything is set. Yeah, so no frequencies. Okay. So, Julian, we need, right? And Julian, we already said that, but I guess in nav2. Julian is 114.0. Com 1. 114.0. Yep, it's now the active. And what bearing? So I suggest, yeah, we fly a little bit left. Yeah, so a left-hand departure there. So, well, I guess something like this, 290. Doesn't really matter that much, but I'd like just to be safe. 290, yeah. Zero, already got a reading, that's good. And what we can also do, just to make life easier, is to also set the nav2, which is already set to 114.0, also set to Julian, and we can set the outbound, so we don't need to do anything. And yeah, what I like to do is just follow the terrain here. So you can see Warner Springs glider port. We can also use as a visual reference point, also in case we've got an engine out, we know where to land. So I'd like to fly visually from Julian onwards to French Valley, but just in case that's not we cannot see anything. Yeah, if we don't see anything, if we cannot do that visual kind of exercise, we already know that visibility is too bad, right? So perhaps our go no-go point is already Julian. If we cannot go further than that, see anything, we already need to divert to Palm Springs. So that's what I'm going to do. And then it's, well, I don't know if we got a reading of Palm Springs, so it's better just to stick with Julian. And we should fly, let's see what brings us right in between these valleys, something like this. And that's north. That's north. I think that makes sense, right? If we cannot see anything, we are not able to do that visual kind of approach to French Valley, then we should just divert to Palm Springs. I think that's okay. Okay, in terms of radio frequencies, we've got the CTAF here of Aqua Caliente, 1 to 2.9, that's set, and French Valley is on 1 to 2.8, obviously, 1 to 2.8. That's also, I see AWAS there, which is a part of X-Plane, I'm prepared, 119.025, so let's set that in the COM2. 119.025, so that means 02 here in Flight Sim. And set that already to the active of COM2. Good. Frequencies are set. Flight plan we discussed. One thing that we didn't do, which I said I would is timing. So I'm gonna fly the part here from Aqua Caliente to Julian. How much time will it take me given a ground speed of 100 knots? 11 minutes. Okay, so around 11 minutes, and obviously we've got a VOR set, so we've got a lot of additional support here, but still, it should take us around 11 minutes. And you can then put this on a navigation log, and you can write this down. ForeFlight does this for us, but still, it's good to rehearse this. 18 nautical miles, 11 minutes, okay? And then when we leave Julian, we've got a heading here. We should be able to spot that airport, Warner Springs glider port, I guess already after 3 minutes, 4 minutes or 3 minutes of flying. If we cannot see glider ports, then we can already move on to Palm Springs. Yeah. This is okay. Okay, and we can do this for each and every leg. And again, you can note this down as part of ForeFlight. You can see here there's a nav log here that already tells you how much time it will take you actually. So here it will say 12 minutes from Lima 54 to Julian. That's our current leg. It's also made in purple there. It's quite nice. So already know what each leg will take us. And we should just remember to flip the switch. And that's something that we can already do, I guess. Select the right elapsed time. Good, Tim. Altimeter setting for the current airport can be based on the airport elevation. Again, I cannot see here what the airport elevation is. I guess it's 1220 on my current altimeter setting. So it's not that far off. Something like this. Good. That means I think that we are ready to go. Engine is very warm, a little bit unrealistically warm. VFR frequencies are set. And Julian is set in both frequencies. Yep, that's good. So again, we're going to depart very quickly here from the runway. Left-hand departure. See some traffic there in the distance. Overflying. Perhaps it's going to land here. Be wary of that. So we're going to fly left-hand and then pick up on that track to Julian. So it's going to be a left crosswind departure, I guess. Not really a downwind, but a left crosswind departure. Okay, just wait what that traffic will do that on that side, because it might even go inbound. Already turning. So what we can do, because there's no one behind us, we can already do a power check. Engine is warm, mixture full in. 1800. No unshaded messages. Again, oil pressure is good. Lead mag tests looks good. Back to both. Right one looks good. Back to both. Landing lights. Do we see a dip and a charge? Yep, that's okay. Idle. No messages still. Good oil pressure. All right, back to 1000. Trim is set. Landing lights on. Strobe lights on. Don't see anyone there on final. Good. Okay. Park and brakes released. Brake tests, they work. Turn, heading indicator works. Dip, turn. Good. And everything is stable. So thank you, Aqua Caliente, for your hospitality. Wonderful food, wonderful salad actually. Aqua Caliente traffic, yellow Skyhawk is departing runway 29 for a left crosswind departure. Aqua Caliente. There we go. Good, aligned, let's go. Hoping the weather is okay, guys. Power, airspeed's alive, engine is in the green, good. Keep on that center line, 50. And 60, that's our rotation speed. And there we go, nice. Aim for VY, so a little bit more nose down. Yeah, it needs a 2.9 because if I depart the other way around, I've got some terrain issues. There we go. .500 feet AGL. Again, in case of an engine out, well, we just need to fly here to the front of us and land here in the desert. Aqua Caliente traffic, yellow Skyhawk is turning left crosswind, runway 29 for a crosswind departure. Aqua Caliente. Good, there we go. Again, I should also just looked outside, and I should have pressed the clock before I departed. But luckily, I remembered to do anyway. Needle is already centered, as you can see in Julian, so that's really nice. Don't know if we've got enough speed though to make the terrain. Let's see whether we can. Otherwise, we just circle around. Traffic there on my 11 o'clock, high up, not a factor. Well, eventually it is a downwind departure. Let's announce that just to be clean. Aqua Caliente traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now on the left downwind 29 for a downwind departure. Aqua Caliente. Oh, Nietzsche, you're totally right. Ah, damn it. I was just stuck with 29 in my head, but it was actually 11 because we're now flying 29. Again, these are the kinds of mistakes or mess-ups. It doesn't mean that I cannot read a heading indicator, but it's just not paying attention. And again, it relates to the stuff that I talked about in the previous stream about, I mean, to me, flying is actually quite relaxing and fun to do, obviously. But that also takes me into a relaxation mode, while you actually should be quite focused. I mean, that can also still be relaxing, but so a lot of terrain in front of us, but we've got a nice climb going. Again, engine is good. Vegetation over there. Really nice. Also love how, again, open map here, the autogen of X-Plane really fits well in the photo reel. There are some differences though, as you can see over here. See, there's a bend here that is not real, but for the most part it's nicely simulated, nicely integrated. Yeah, Nietzsche, you're totally right. You're true. You're absolutely right. And also, there's also quite a difference with flying with a instructor on board, and that's actually what I'd like to do with Discord, to invite any real-world pilot that I find instructive and helpful and yeah, pleasant to have on board here, also on Discord. So I really have a sense that I should be on my toes, I should be alert because I've got an instructor on board. So I really like to also simulate that kind of social context as well here as part of the stream. I know PilotEdge also sells remote coaching, but that's really expensive. Well, it might be fun also as a donation goal to explore what that is like. Some turbulence here. Again, we're nicely on track. Seem to notice a bit of gyro drift, I think. Not that much. No, not that much. Weather, weather, weather. Doesn't bode well, guys. That marginal VMC is coming up. It does look really, really nice. I mean, xEnviro does a great job, but still needs to be improved. Ben, you should be an instructor. Well, I'm not that experienced yet, guys. I really love to, actually. I'm trained as an educational psychologist and also as an instructional designer. I know a lot about training. I really love training. I love learning. But it really takes also specific instruction experience and also just own experience with flying in order to teach someone the subtleties. But the subtleties of flying, I mean. So I'm just gonna keep it here a bit. Some traffic there on my 2 o'clock, if you guys can see. About 30 miles or so ahead, 20 miles ahead. I'm totally off my track. Now that doesn't at all relate to a sterile cockpit. That's just not paying attention. Whoa! That's also not really a bug report, but something that I reported on the forums that I don't like of xEnviro is the sun in cloud effects, which are not really helpful for VFR parties because I'd like to specifically avoid clouds. I need to rely on those cloud depictions, and the default X-plane clouds are actually much more reliable in that respect, but they're not that pretty. I also like the haziness that xEnviro generates. Nice bumping around here. This is VFR flying, guys. Oh yeah, this is cool. Again, shouldn't drift off too much of my bearing to keep in that left turn. Also, you can see in the front there a sun change of photoreal. This is a different tile. So perhaps the tile that we're currently flying over here has been made in the summer, completely desert-like, burned vegetation or something like that. While the next tile that we're going to fly into, which is actually much more pretty, has probably been made in spring or in the winter. Much more vegetation, which is quite unrealistic, but hey, that's the cost of using photoreal. So again, that needle should creep in. We're flying in between these clouds. We should stay clear of these clouds with around 2,000 feet, if I'm correct, which is okay-ish. And again, controllers are not really monitoring your presence that closely. They don't see these really individual clouds that clearly on their radar, so there's not any alarm or flag that goes off when they see a VFR pilot flying near clouds. It's also mostly for your own risk, your own safety, because there might be other airplanes there in clouds, IFR airplanes, that we are not able to see. We're now relying on our visual capability to remain clear of clouds. Are we clear of this cloud? Yes, so. Now again, we're also not flying higher than 3,000 feet AGL, I think. So we're free just to fly on these irregular altitudes. Traffic in front of us. No, don't fog up on me. Now again, we've got a cloud in front of us that we are not allowed to fly through. Again, this is so unrealistic or not helpful. Ben, thank you. Thank you for being here on the stream. See you next time. So actually the radial's to the right side of us. We know on the right side there's actually better weather, so perhaps that should favor making a right turn, but I can see much more clouds on the right side than on the left side here. But we've got some terrain issues. Well, we can just try to see what happens. And traffic now, 12 o'clock. This is dangerous in terms of, again, xEnviro, because I relied on having visual reference of those mountains. But if now suddenly IMC breaks in, unexpectedly and unrealistically, I'm really messed up because I'm heading right towards terrain here. So what I should remember to do then, and this is actually a procedure also recommended for real-world pilots, just make a 180 turn. Go back. RNG, thanks for following and welcome on board. Getting traffic there, 1 o'clock, high up. So far it does seem that we are making progress here. And that we do have some good visual separation. Perhaps we should follow here to the left rather than to the right. Just over this hill. A bit more power so we can sneak in between these clouds and then all the way down right, because the track now to Julian, as you can see already on the GPS by the way, we're already overflying Julian. Look at that scenery in front of us. Paradise. Gorgeous. Alrighty then. I can just also now lean and cruise. And I didn't use my checklist during departure. Also now on Julian I should reset my clock. Boom. Although we're not really over Julian yet. We did start a new leg. Okay, good. Let's keep a little bit there to the right. Yeah, one choice that I wasn't considerate of, I now see, is that we used Charlie Lima 35, that airport at Nantower Airport. You can see it on the radar there, or on the GPS, as a possible airport to deviate to, right, in terms of an engine out. And because I now chose to go left, I lost that option. So now we've got an engine out. Yeah, you pick a golf course, or you pick a Vineyard or Vineyard. Ramona perhaps in front of us, but I guess we cannot reach that with an engine out. And that's also interesting while flying, is that, at least in my experience, I become so focused or single-mindedly focused on a particular issue that I try to solve that particular issue while not considering other factors that come into play. And that situational awareness, or more broad awareness, is actually quite interesting. Nietzsche, you're totally right. Yeah, it's very interesting. There are just a couple of departure procedures or arrivals, and that's exactly the manual to look at. Makes sense though. Teardrop entries. So that's the lake as a visual reference. This is gorgeous weather, by the way, guys. Don't you think? Combined with this scenery, look at this. We're flying VFR, photoreal scenery. It's beautiful. Haha. That's that lake that, let me see. Whoop. That lake. That lake. Lake Herschel. So let's overfly Warner Springs. Curious to see what that looks like. I also think that MiniWebs did a brushing up of that airport. Airport or aircraft in front of us, multiple. It's 12 o'clock here. This is cool. And my AGT is not that high up. Let's see if I can raise it a bit more. Yeah, enriching the mixture now. You can also hear the RPM sound. Pitching up. And again, using sound is also a great way to have a sense of whether you're actually gaining speed or not, or whether your engine does weird stuff. The same happens in the previous stream with the engine icing. I heard the engine slowing down without me touching the throttle, and I thought, hey, that's interesting. Something is going on here. I didn't read the RPMs, the tachometer, to see, hey, something goes wrong here. Ah, right, Nietzsche. Okay. Well, I still would prefer the standard kind of ways to depart. But perhaps there are circumstances where terrain or just ease of doing things would prefer a more custom tailored way of departing. Look at this scenery, guys. Look at this. Man. Oops, weather is changing. Please, please, FS gods. Oh, explain this. Needs some memory here to load. So that's the visibility part of it. Visibility has worsened. Herschel Lake. As you can see, what the photoreal stuff does, the algorithm, the app that you use to generate these tiles, is quite rough in cutting out the edges here of the water. So the water is not photoreal, it's just the default graphic thing of X-Plane. You can see these really weird, really straight lines here that are used. Still, I actually like those. I like the reflections of the real water. Now I'm quite flying high up here. I think already above 3,000 feet AGL. Wow! Where is that Warner Brothers Studios? Warner Springs glider. What's a glider port? I think it is. I thought it was implemented here in on X-Plane. Some weird tiles here again. These darker stripes here. I don't think that that's as it should be. And we don't have any other traffic here. I do see some. An airport to the right. Seems like an airport. Is that Warner? Yes, it seems like it. Why did I expect it to be there? No. No IMC. I've had enough IMC for today. I think that is, yeah, that's Warner Springs. Gorgeous. What a beautiful location. Almost feel like just landing there and just doing a touch and go. Nah. But we're already close to friends. Shall we do a touch and go, guys, on Warner Springs? You tell me. Just overfly it. Wow. Again, traffic 12 o'clock high up. Nice ramp there. Let's see if I can see a windsock. I can see one. Yeah. Just there on the far edge. Favors the runway on that side. Oh, there's a glider here. My gosh, there's a glider. Whoa. Whoa, I didn't know that gliders were actually simulated there. Yeah, it's called a glider port for a reason. Wow. I saw a glider. Haha, on PilotEdge. Cool. Okay. Now I definitely need to land there. Guys, I'm the captain. We're gonna do a landing. So yeah, that side of the runway. It's a private airport, I think, wasn't it? No, 1 to 2.8. Switch. 1 to 2.8. What we're gonna do? Landing lights. We're still on. I did turn my landing lights off. Talk about the departure checklist. So yeah, we can do. Well, as Nietzsche said, we can actually do whatever we like. So it's going to be base, and that's base for runway 26. Warner Springs traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now turning left base runway 26 for a touch and go. Warner Springs. There we are. Speed below 100. First notch of flaps. Okay. Come down a bit. Again, look out for those gliders. Perhaps there are more. Speed within the white band. Yes. Second notch of flaps. Nose down. We're too high. Watch that speed. Little bit of pedals. Too high up. Too high up. Let's see if we can make it. There we go. Right rudder. That's forward slip. Should descend it a little bit quicker. This is gonna get tough. Nice ramp though. Here. Also there. It's cute. Very cute. Oh, there's a glider. Whoa, didn't see that one. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is awesome. Look at that. Ha! Wow, this is really Mission Impossible like touch and go, but we made it. That was awesome, guys. Warner Springs traffic, Yellow Skyhawk is on the upwind, runway 26 now for a departure to the west. Goodbye. Oh, Nietzsche, that was for departures. Alright. So for departures you can be more free. And how you depart before arrivals, it's much more, yeah, that does make sense. Messing with my mixture here. Good. Now, obviously now the clock is useless. So let's reset. Landing lights off, didn't turn those on. So again, checklist, departure tech. So I'm so focused then on flying the airplane that I just forget about doing checks. And obviously, while you need to fly the airplane first, but yeah. So this was Warner Springs. (28), we need to fly 30. We get the French Valley. Airplane on top there. Actually 2. 10 o'clock. Stay a little bit here to the right side of this terrain. And at untowered airports, overfly midfield, check the sock right, and then teardrop exactly, Nietzsche. Thanks for looking it up and sharing. Yeah, this is weird. What is the blue stuff? Oh no. Again, following the terrain, hoping that we might find some way for us, a window to reach French Valley. So we should have flown 3-0. There's a road here that we're following. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this is the right track. Good. That road here to the left of us is the one that we need to follow. We can stay around this altitude. Also another airport over there, I guess, looking at the GPS. 54 Charlie Lima. That was nice. That glider, I'm gonna make that a highlight as well. In terms of a video segment here on Twitch. And I agree. The teardrop entry is indeed the safest. So quite unrealistic what happens here. Again. xEnviro developers, if you're listening, fix your shit. It's awesome software, but it's not there yet. Not too little power, but something like that. Nice flight so far. Very nice photoreal. Also really much like the photoreal of Bakersfield, north of LA. This is not good. Again, if we get into IMC, just going to fly a little bit lower. We're gonna climb, and we're gonna catch a radial to the north to Palm Springs on nav2. Also, I turn on the clock, but I'm not really aware what the target actually is. Looking at my nav log here. $19 minutes. 19. We've got some minutes to go. Oh, nice. Pilot Tyler, nothing pisses me off more than some old person in their bonanza calling it 10 miles straight in. Yeah, I can imagine. Guys, don't fuck with my weather. Sorry for the language. But I'm tired with IMC now, also because of the previous stream, just a few hours ago. With that icing situation. Icy situation. Yeah, Nietzsche, exactly. And I guess the worst thing that you can do on a CTAF is just to say, hey, here I am. Is anyone there on the radio as well? Because I'm coming in. And then you hear 5 pilots repeating at the same time. This is Papa Hotel Tango Mike inbound. Please advise. Any other pilots in the pattern? Please advise. What I also like is these trails. You can see here also on the photo reel. Oh, I thought it was just a normal trail, but it's actually a road, as you can see. Quite challenging road, by the way. Drive. Be quite scenic though. But sometimes also in the Bakersfield area you can see just trails on the mountains where people actually walk. Just walking trails, which is also quite awesome to see. Hey, Magicon! That's a long time. Welcome on stream. Peter Sim, I still find the roads pretty ugly in X3. Yeah, well. What I like is that they are in sync with the photo reel, so they're pretty accurate in that sense. My computer has trouble with the weather, I guess. It's a little bit shocky here. It's because of the weather. So I'm descending still. Let's just keep a little bit on altitude right now. More power. It's good to stay a little bit low to avoid that cloud layer, but still. Good, Magicon. Yeah, I also love flying again. Also on X-Plane 11. No, indefinitely. No, I don't want this. Away. Woohoo. It's the magic touch. Okay, what's this in front of us? Some kind of a lake? Yep, that was our second reference point, Vale Lake. We could reset the timer for French Valley and also do a call in for French Valley. It's gonna be 6 minutes from this lake to French Valley. No. Yes, Sniper, I did. It's you move your cursor and you see this small arrow, and when you click that, like now, bloop, it resets. Bit weird, but I found it. 6 minutes, and we're now around 11 nautical miles east. So let's follow Nietzsche's advice. Let's do a midfield and then a teardrop. But in this way, we're already coming from the right side of the airport. So I'd like to do a left hand, like we prepared, a left hand for 1/8. So we are already on the 40-degree entry. So that would be the standard kind of obvious kind of way now to enter that pattern. Yeah, perhaps just better to do that. We did that teardrop also in one of the previous streams. I just like that maneuver. 1 to 2.8, that's set. Left hand, 1/8 for full stop. French Valley traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is about 10 miles east of the airport, currently at 3,600 inbound to land for a full stop. We're going to enter the left downwind for runway 18, French Valley. Yeah, I know, Tyler. I was just saying. What is the airport elevation? It is 1350, so that means 2350 is the traffic pattern altitude, so let's already descend. To 240. And let's look for the airport, because again with this photo reel it becomes quite hard. Oh, look at all these wine vineyards, are they called in English? I don't know. Vineyards or... So cool. Landing lights on, mixture in. Checklists. For landing, flaps, landing lights, heading indicator. Yeah, heading indicator, we could work with that. What was the 1.8? Not good. 1.8. And this is again something that I should have already done a while ago. Because actually I should now be focused on spotting the airport. Where is the airport? I see another airplane over there. Ah, I see an airport over there. I think that's it. I also see an airport just in front of us there. Is this an airport? I think it's over there. Also see some lights over there. Again. Let's continue. Also nice to do another call when you're a little bit more closely, because now perhaps another pilot has just jumped in his cockpit, or another airplane inbound must just switch to the CTAF. French Valley traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now 5 miles east of the airport at 2,600 inbound to enter the left downwind 18 for a full stop. French Valley. I think it's over there. Oh yeah, this is just scenery. Yeah, it's this is the airport. Cool. Military aircraft there, 1 o'clock on the top. 240. I mean, 2,400 is coming up. And we should already approach the pattern here, 40 degree, which is kind of right. In this case, also with around 100 knots, or also 1 notch of flaps, as if we were midpoint downwind. So here we are. Nose up a bit. Again, make sure oversee the airport here if there's no other traffic other than in the pattern. Nose up, Tim. Don't descend too much. Nose up. Trim. Good, there goes the speed. First notch of flaps, nose down, push. And allow your air, just use it. Get back on the traffic pattern altitude. There we are. Again. Oh, my computer has a little bit of trouble here. I guess with all those layers, but without layers. There we are. Let's pick a distance. Start our turn when we think we can make the field with an engine out. Something like this. French Valley traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is now turning on the left downwind for runway 18 for a full stop, French Valley. Again, I'm descending through my traffic pattern. Come on. Altitude. Come on, focus. Parallel with the runway, checked. That's better. Around 90 knots is okay for the traffic pattern. 80 on base, 70 on final, 65 short final for the Skyhawk. Ah, there's other traffic there. It could be a drone, could also be live traffic, which is always cool. Nietzsche 2408, thank you, sir. So 240, so that means we're going to be pushed from the right to the left. Okay, interesting. 8 knots is kind of significant, so let's see if we can do a proper forward step landing. Alright, seems to be okay. Let's turn. French Valley traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now turning left base for runway 18 full stop, French Valley. Keep that speed going. Also, we should have already started our descent a little bit early on downwind, so chances are we are high up. There we go, wide band, second arch of flaps, good, push down on that yoke. There's the bug, yeah, I thought so. Here we go. French Valley traffic, yellow Skyhawk is now turning final, runway 18 full stop, French Valley. 4 wides on the Papi. I think I should reset my settings for xEnviro because yeah, it's a little bit choppy. There we go, 70. We've got enough of runway, so don't hurry our descent. I can see the wind coming from the right to the left. You can also see now that our airplane is a little bit wind feathered. It's feathering to the right. So that means that when I touch down in this position, we're going to slip over the runway. That's not good for the undercarriage. Slow, nicely trimmed, good. Now, come on, I'd like to hear the stall warning. Don't flare too soon, don't flare too late. There we go. Right rudder, a little bit of right. Ah, too soon. The maneuver was okay though. I was putting in left rudder and right yoke, right aileron. Again, should keep my yoke to the right here for crosswind correction. I should increase that to full on mode as my speed decreases. Look at this ramp. Wow. That is quite a number of static airports, airplanes. There we are. Expedite our exit here. French Valley traffic. Yellow Skyhawk is clear runway 18. Good. Not hurry. Just stop here and clean up this mess. It's a helicopter, I think, that's over there in a hangar. Yeah, landing lights off, strobe lights off. Back to 1000, leaning for ground. What we're gonna do is we're gonna find a parking spot over here. Perhaps it's better just to pick the right side. But I'd like to park in between the crowd, so let's just have a look. Again, clear. Yeah, and it was kind of okay, the landing, but still there wasn't really a good round out or a good flare. Been more subtle. Let's go this direction. What is it? It's a Cessna Paradise, or Skyhawk Paradise, I should say. Ah, cool. Slow taxi. Sniper, I did cross the markings. At least I was aware of doing that before I did the clear, but perhaps I didn't. Ah, here I can see a parking spot, but I cannot get to that position because that fellow is blocking. Nice. Very cute airport. Yeah, where am I going to park? Next to that king. Also, now my computer seems to have no trouble keeping up with. Well, we still got the same kind of weather. It's nice to just taxi a little bit around on the ramp, actually. Look at all these airplanes. Nice tempo. Yeah, here we can see nice spots. Let's pick this one. Does that work, or am I now? If I just chose the baddest one ever? No, I didn't. This is okay for me. Good. Parking brakes set. Yeah. Lights are off. Avionics off. Cut off. Brrr. And magnetos off. Batteries off. And that completes our flight all the way down to beautiful, gorgeous French Valley. I think that was cool. So let me just get rid of my ForeFlight knee pad here. Awesome, guys. That was really fun, really scenic flight. I really enjoyed it. I hope you do. I hope you did as well. Replays. So disconnect from PilotEdge first.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. Recorder. No, I should first close the door. Hello? Oh. Okay. And go back. Let's look at that landing. A little bit sooner. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no shutters right now. So perhaps my Windows was downloading a new update or something like that. Wow! Isn't she a beauty? Man! Looking from the tower, or yeah, it's an untowered airport, but you know what I mean. Also, let's have an idea of what the flight was. That's where we came from. A little bit high, as you can see, all the way down from that side. All right. Oh, another time shift. Yeah, let's have a look. So you can see feathered into the wind. And I should have already corrected on this for this moment, and not only at the last moment. Rudder in. Not bad indeed, but again, sorry, I'd really like to have a close look, see what is happening. Nietzsche, it seems that you would risk dramatically dropping a wing or forward slipping suddenly in that configuration again. Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. So I should have already been in a forward slip configuration here. Also gives me time to stabilize. It was not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'd like to see it. Yeah. Exactly from this position. See if I also make some aileron correction here. I think I did, but I expect to have just again more time. Wingtip down? Yeah, a bit. A bit. But not anything to be frustrated about. Beautiful. Okay, then I would like to see my departure as well. A lot of talking, chatting. Control P. Yeah, takeoffs are not that difficult. Very good. And there we go. Yeah, so 700 feet AGL. And then make a, yeah, again, pretty obvious left downwind departure here. Also, you can see, because, well, not really. I guess it's wind's calm, but let's see if I can been drifted to the right. Yeah, drifted to the right a bit. You can see it's not really straight on that runway, and I guess that's because of the wind blowing us to the right without us noticing. Okay, so there we make our turn, and then we went this direction. Yeah, it's a little bit all over the place. Here I totally forgot about my bearing, I guess, to Julian, which is silly. Or was I already avoiding clouds? I don't think so. So I was avoiding this terrain, obviously. But I did forget at some point, I think, if I remember correctly, where I was. I think there's also a way to be more, zoom out a little bit more. 4, shift 3, that's shift 3, 2, shift 1. There's a way to really zoom out in a very more quicker way, but, well, I don't know. This was gorgeous. Oh yeah, the glider. I'm gonna snap that out of the video after the stream, but and we will not see the glider right now here because we're now offline. Where am I? Yeah, right. Again, let's look at the landing here. Yeah, that's too late. So ballooning here. Yeah, and then the nose touched first. That was a bad landing. And it was because I was too high. So I wasn't in a stabilized, I mean, look at this, much too high. I wasn't in a stabilized approach or glide. Ah, it's gorgeous scenery. Wow, really nice airports. Not fun though that there are actually drone gliders just rushing over that runway. I should have seen that sooner, by the way. I was so focused on the runway. I'm not trained at all just to see whether there are birds or other stuff just surrounding the runway. There we come. So march to steep down, nose down, which is not good. And only here I push up. Whoa! Yeah, that's not good. Also not on center line. There we go again. Love the sound. Sniper, thanks. See you soon again. Have a good day. And there we go again. Awesome. Okay. Back to the cockpit. Woof. Whoa. Again, how many airplanes? It's very crowded here. Shift 4. Okay. Yeah, nice. Yeah. That completes our episode 63 with an engine out on the first part of my leg. Again, it was very educational, and now here we did some cloud avoidance, quite interesting, scenic flight, a crosswind kind of a forward slip landing, should improve on that. Although it was still quite okay, I think, that landing. And again, I should use my checklist more. Also, the clock should be part of my checklist, but it's not just about checklist taxiing, it's also about checklist departing, cruising, arriving. I should do that much more systematically. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this particular episode as well. I'm already looking forward to the next flight. I hope you will be there. Jump aboard. Also, when you're watching this on YouTube, don't hesitate, jump over to Twitch and help me to improve my flying, because any pilot will continue to learn. That's also what I really love about our hobby here, just to keep on learning and to take our flight simulation hobby as seriously as possible. And I hope you enjoy that as much as I do. Guys, again, thank you for watching. Hoping to see you very soon. Bye. Palm Springs Tower, Skylane, Hotel Tango. Mike is 10 miles north of airport at 3000. With information X-ray for a full stop. Landing 13 left if that's a bit more.
Papa Hotel Tango Indy Link, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango Indy Link, Palm Springs altimeters 2985, radar Presently landing runway 31, you're requesting straight in for 13.
That's a bit in this case.
Remember, correction, Papa Hotel, taking into Mike, make straight in runway 13 left, and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel, thank you any Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance, Pilatus 4658 is type PC12 slam code, request clearance to Vegas S file.
Pilatus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file, and I'll be forward Stellar. Pilatus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas airport. VFI Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresto. Join the Cresto 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Pilatus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresto 3, initially climb 7,000 expected for 0 F25, departure 167, squawk 6316 plus 465.
Plus 4658, readback is correct. Tango Mike, taxi to ramp via echo, remain this frequency.
Taxiing to the RAM via Echo and remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel, thank you any Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left traffic, left downline runway 26 left, report base.